be. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. Battle Tower is cool and all. But, I don't know, man. I definitely think there was missed opportunity to put the Battle Frontier in. Because a lot of those, like, things. And again, this is something that they could have fixed with an update or some form of DLC. So I think, like, for the older games going forward, they should include elements from those installments. Even if they do a remake of a remake. That's why I think Let's Go, it's simple, but it was basically a remake of Pokemon Yellow, and I think they did it right. In fact, I think they, like, overdid it. Like, they did way too much to make the game better. And maybe that's just, recency bias, because we did do Let's Go not that long ago. I say not that long ago. It was before Emerald. But I just think they did those games, like, perfect for what they did. This guy just casually has two of my favorite Pokemon on his team. Meganium and a Porygon-Z. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon Heartgold Randomized Egglocke. In the previous episode, we went and caught a couple of encounters. We also managed to get ourselves a good rod in Olivine City. Then we started taking on the lighthouse here. We're about halfway through it, I would say. So plan really is to finish up the lighthouse. Then we are going to also try to make our way to Cianwood City. Get as close as we possibly can to getting this Cianwood City. Wow. Bolt Absorb Golbats. That is really good. That's an immunity right there for him. A little bit less damage, please, preferred. Alright. Go for Confusion. Is that going to one-shot? I don't know. Crobat's pretty... Never mind. That's just not a Crobat either. I said Crobat, and Golbat's right there. Oh! Okay. You could be a problem? I don't know. I don't know what your learn set is. I don't think your learn set is like anything too crazy. I mean, Discharge is definitely going to be the scariest move you could possibly go for, but you don't have Discharge at level 22. You might have Thunderfang. You might have that. Yeah, every time, you're going to see how messy my hair is. You see this shit? Ow, ow, ow. Ooh. Every time I try to adjust my hat, it is a pain because the Velcro on it is so just garbage now. I don't have another one of these hats, so that's the part that sucks about it. I just got a stupid amount of experience from killing that Raikou. I will not complain about that. And the problem is, too, for the Velcro that I have that is still actually pretty decent, it's going to end up squeezing my fucking brains. And I don't want it to do that. So. Alright. So yeah, we are at the halfway section. There's an item over here that I want to grab. What is it? Metal plate. There's a lot of grass things that we're getting right now. Metal plate, we got the TM for Needle Arm right at the end of the previous episode. is Krogan. Do you have... What do you learn by level up? Oh, great. I have an ad, so this is perfect timing for me, I guess. I'm going to cross-chop this Bidoof. I actually landed it. Alright, 28. Good for us. Drapion. Oh, this is a prop. That is a problem. Kinda, sort of. I could. And I probably should, actually. I think I'll stay in and I'm gonna Mud Slap him first. Alright, Generation 4. Krogan. Do you learn Poison Jab? You learn it at 38. What level do you evolve at? 37? That's a tough call right there. Because, I mean, Toxicroak, what level do you learn it at? 41? Do I wait the extra level to get Poison Jab and then evolve him? I almost think that's smarter. I would say that's probably going to be better, is to wait the extra level. I just need to hope that I'm in a good enough spot to where I can wait that extra level to evolve him. Because, I mean, we saw with the randomizer, they evolved our Horsey into Seadra at level 30 as opposed to, you know, it being normally 32. Krogan might fall in under that same ballpark. Because he evolves at 37 normally. But I feel like they also wouldn't mess with evolutions like that. But I don't know. I do not know. Okay. Drapion's down. I think we handled that, you know, pretty well. Because we don't have a lot of ground type coverage. And ground is the only thing that's super effective against Drapion. Dark and Poison is very, very good typing. Probably one of the best defensive typings out there. Maybe even like one of the best type combinations out there, period. I know Fairy Steel is pretty good, but not Fairy type in this game, so. Oh, would you look at that? An Illumise. He's not gonna have any, like, he's not gonna have any good moves, or she's not gonna have any good moves. Sorry, she's not gonna have any good moves. She is using Charm though, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, that does nothing. So I probably should just swap. Probably should just swap, huh? Yeah, we'll go Fireball. Go Fireball. Maybe what we can do actually is we could actually, you know, Sunny Day and Weather Ball some fools. See if that actually does something. And this is a perfect and most opportune time to Sunny Day because it went for a wish. It's gonna heal up like that little bit of HP that it lost. So rather do this than just try to go for an Ember. The Ember would be 80. And then I wonder if even though Weather Ball takes the effects of the weather, it's still technically billed as a normal type. So I wonder if it's Stab still. I mean, it's gonna kill, yeah. Because if it's Stab super effective, then it's like base 150 now. Time Echo? Maybe we can kind of gauge it. I think we can gauge it based off of how it's gonna look. It's actually gonna be stronger, I want to say, because of the sun. So Ember's gonna be that. He's going for Uproar. Okay, damage. We don't have any ominous ones left, that's why we're not going for it. Now we're gonna go for Weather Ball. That was a crit though. That was a crit, so I can't really tell if that was gonna do more regardless. It might be Stab, even with the weather effect up. Yeah, I think it is stab with the weather effect though. That's good. That makes him so much better if that's the case. Or it could just be the fact that we're using a stab move. But now I don't have to struggle as much. All right. Sailors are both kind and strong. How about you? Depends on how you think of kids. Pause. That sounds bad. That sounds like that could have been worded a lot better. If you, it depends on how you think children are, in the sense of like, do you find them annoying or do you find them sweet and delicate? As someone who went to college to become a teacher, I see both sides. But as I work in retail as well as, you know, being a teacher and whatnot, I can kind of gauge how kids are with their parents. And some of these kids, man, they get away with a little too much, in my opinion. Like, if I ever acted like that around my mama, oh, she would beat the brakes off of me. With discipline, of course, not like completely throw down, fisticuffs, I'm gonna kick your ass, and blah, blah, blah. I make the joke that my mom could kick my ass, and it's a joke that actually I feel like it holds some weight to, because she could. I don't doubt that in the slightest. Sorry, I want to battle Jasmine. Well, Jasmine is preoccupied with an Ampharos, so. Azurill. I missed cross chop on a Pokemon that doesn't necessarily matter on. Alright. That's just ridiculous. 2 in a row. I just needed it to hit once, and I could have killed this thing in 1 hit. For Alligator. Alright, so we're gonna go into Maraschino. This could be risky. As for Alligator, does get Ice Fang by level up. But he also will die to a Petal Dance, and he didn't even go for Ice Fang. I don't know why he wouldn't do that, but you know what, you do you, man. For Alligator. Alright, 990 XP. Next up is a Mareep. And we get the quick Colada Pop. Yeah. I don't know why. I felt like there was gonna be a chance that we would outspeed this Mareep. Whoa, you're overwhelming. Yeah. Only sometimes. Max Repel, that's actually gonna be helpful. That's actually gonna be helpful. I've always had a soft spot for Ampharos. Like, I've used Ampharos in this game, you know, because I played it multiple times before. But I also used Ampharos in my first run through Black 2. Like, when I tell you, like, if there was a time in Pokemon that I'd love to go back and relive with the knowledge that I know now, it would be 10 years ago. It would be 10 years ago in prime time of Black 2, White 2, and X and Y. Because that's literally where I started to get so much more into the game and learn a lot more, wanted to do competitive, all this stuff, and it was just awesome. I remember building that team for Black 2 when I was, you know, waiting for it to come out. Because I think, when did it come out? Black 2, White 2. Hey Siri, what was the release date of Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 in the United States? October 7th. I was like, because I remember it around my birthday when they released it. And I remember, I think I remember vividly that that was the like most I played of a Pokemon day, like on day one of release, probably like ever. Like I started the game, booted it up, did all this stuff, went and got my like encounters or stuff that I wanted to catch for my team, and I remember I made it all the way to Clay and beat Clay. So I did the first 5 gyms of the game in a singular day. Like I was just I don't know what it was about that game. I just loved playing the game. I want to say the reason why I probably got into the game as much as I did was because there was the inclusion of, you know, to me, like explaining how this was to me, because I would have been, when did Black and White come out? It came out in 2011, so I would have been 10 going on 11 at that time. So to me, it's like I played Ruby and Sapphire. I played Diamond and Pearl. I understood that you could transfer over certain Pokemon, but I was also worried that if I transferred them over, that like bad things were gonna happen. But then there was Black and White, which was a completely new region, completely new decks, and all this stuff. And I understood that you could transfer stuff over in Black and White, but Black and White was a completely like different thing. Whereas I was able to figure out by playing Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and then this game that there were Pokemon from older generations in the, you know, regional Pokédex. I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be the case with Black and White. But Black and White decided to do something a little bit different in that they made it where the entirety of the main game was all of the Unova Pokemon, which at the time, for me, was not cool. And I think that was the case for a lot of people, but, you know, after playing the game for a little bit, I need to go get repels. That's what I wanted to do back here. But after a little while, it's like, okay, that was actually kind of cool, because once I got to the after game of Black and White, I started seeing, you know, things like Absol, Tropius, blah, 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 Pokemon that I recognized, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But the thing that I think brought it full circle for me was with Black 2, White 2, because I was watching someone play the Japanese version of it. And, you know, seeing Pokemon like Ampharos, Riolu, Flygon, Arcanine, all of them, and in my brain, I'm like, this is so cool, because it felt like a crossover episode, because it's like with Black and White, actually, I kind of fell off of liking Pokemon a little bit, because, again, stupid kid, couldn't figure out, you know, transferring all of the guys that I had. But they also made the transfer systems really, like, they tried to make them good for what they were at the time. Like, the PAL Park is a cool concept, but limiting it to where you can only transfer over 6 Pokemon a day made it very, very tedious. And then it got to the point like, and the internal clock would just like mess up. So it's like, even though you waited a full day, it would still be like, no, you haven't waited a full day yet. It's like, dude, cool. This is stupid. Just like, I want to transfer them over. But I mean, Black and White's transfer system was better because they still made it a minigame aspect out of it. So like, that was good. And then with that, they also didn't limit it to how many things you could transfer over, which was huge. It's like, all right, I'm gonna transfer over my stuff from Platinum. I'm gonna transfer my stuff over from Heartgold, Soul Silver, all that. It gives me those options. But yeah, I think another reason why I'm so fond with Black 2, White 2, I think there's actually two reasons more that I have. But one of those reasons is the fact that the animation for it, they did like an animation for it, and it's one of the coolest things they could have done to like hype up the release of a game, because I still remember it very vividly, and I thought it was so fucking cool. And I would say the best argument of like you look at like third installments, for example, you know, red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond, pearl, platinum. Like, I like the idea of, you know, the third installment being a game that kind of polishes up the first game, especially in the age that we live in now. People are so just like picky about like the newer games, for example, like Scarlet and Violet. Like, oh, they're unfinished games. Like, there's glitches and whatnot. Like, there's always gonna be glitches. Like, I'm sure there were. Hell, I remember with, what was it, Oras? There was a point where I was going to Sutopla City, and there was ooh, okay, that is a good TM. That is a good TM. But I remember going to Sutopla City, and there was a swimmer who was floating in the air. There was a swimmer who was 100% floating in the air. And I'm just like, huh? Never seen it before. Haven't seen it again since. What other glitches have I seen? My most popular TikTok video is of the acid rain glitch, which is a glitch that's only done in Generation Floor. Generation Floor. Excuse the fuck out of me, Rotom. Critical hit fucking uproar. Jesus. I don't think that gets stronger. Even if it does, I'm going in the cutty. But yeah, all those glitches, and people are kind of like praising it because of the fact that, oh, they're the older games, you know. They give them that leeway, but it's like, we get to Generation 9, and it's like, there's glitches, and people just, oh, the game's not finished, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to rush product. That's why I'm glad they're doing the DLCs, because I think we're now at a point where third installments of a game are a little out of date. But with the fact that there are the third installments, right? I want them to take note of, like, okay, so for Heartgold, Soul Silver, and Gold, Silver, Crystal, take elements from both the games and make that into the new remake. And I think that was the biggest missed opportunity when it came to BDSP. Because, sure, they kept it to being to Diamond and Pearl. But a lot of people prefer Platinum and, Distortion World and Giratina and all that. You easily could have, and again, this is the benefit of hindsight, and this is someone who's talking who has never designed a video game in their life. But I'm just saying this as like an idea's point of view. You could have easily done what you did with Distortion World and all that stuff. You could have made that like a final chapter of the game, like Oras did with the Delta episode. And I don't think anybody would have complained. Because it's like, yes, you could go and try and hunt for Rayquaza and all of them, but the fact that they made a story for Rayquaza, Deoxys, and all of them, and the fact that you still saw the evil teams even after everything that happened in Sootopolis and whatnot, like it gave me a reason to play the after game. That's why I liked Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon when they added the Team Rainbow Rocket, because every time I go back and play those games, I feel obligated to go and play the after game. That's why I like Black 2, White 2 so much. Because, sure, what they did is that they did kind of what Black 1 and White 1 did, in that they made certain parts of the regions not explorable until the after game. But there was a lot of like extra content in those games. So much so, if I do a Blaze Black 2 Master Mode, which we will get to that eventually, or Volt White 2 Master Mode, there is a chance that we do the after game for that, because we thought Volt White was going to be the long, Volt White 2 is going to be absolutely insane, because there's just so much more. There's just way much more in that game. And it's something that I think is a good thing. You want to add more content to the game. And that's why I think Sword and Shield is much better, because of the fact that it has DLCs. If we just took the DLC out of Sword and Shield, base game, it's okay. It would definitely be the weakest generation, though. Weakest by a pretty comfortable margin. But it's not terrible. I don't think there's an out and out bad Pokemon game. There are disappointing ones, and that's how I feel about just regular Sword and Shield, and then BDSP as well. Because, like I said, I think you had the opportunity to expand a little bit, because that's the beauty of remakes, is that it's like, here's a game that we have from this time. So like, for example, like I was just using with Heartgold, Soul Silver, right? You have the two regions. You will have, take elements from Crystal. So it's like Suicune is important. You can maybe do a storyline with Suicune before you go and fight the Elite Four. I mean, you do it with the legendary of the game that you choose anyways. So why not? Because you can catch Ho and Lugia in either game anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much, right? It just depends on who you actually can catch first, because like I said, you can catch both. But like Generation 4. Hello, my boy. Generation 4, you can do the Battle Frontier. Add that to the game. I think that was a missed opportunity with both Oras and BDSP, is that well, for Oras, not so much, because I still think they tried with that better than BDSP. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Battle Tower is cool and all, but I don't know, man. I definitely think there was missed opportunity to put the Battle Frontier in, because a lot of those, like, things. And again, this is something that they could have fixed with an update or some form of DLC. So I think like for the older games going forward, they should include elements from those installments, even if they do a remake of a remake. That's why I think Let's Go, it's simple, but it was basically a remake of Pokemon Yellow, and I think they did it right. In fact, I think they like overdid it. Like they did way too much to make the game better. And maybe that's just, recency bias, because we did do Let's Go not that long ago. I say not that long ago, it was before Emerald. But I just think they did those games, like, perfect for what they did. This guy just casually has two of my favorite Pokemon on his team. Meganium and a Porygon-Z. Hello, my son. You are standing on water. I bet you live this. Nah. As soon as I said that, I was like, nah, because I'm choice specs and that stab super effective. And I'm 7 levels higher. Randomized is pretty cracked, or well, pretty decently cracked, I will say. But yeah, we'll probably carry on this conversation more in the next episode. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button down below, because we greatly appreciate it. Next episode, we're going to get through more of the water routes here. More of the water route. Battling more people, just making sure that our team is pretty balanced. We're almost all level 30, so can't complain too much about that. We'll get the Cianwood, and we'll do a couple things there, and then we'll probably surf back Lighthouse. Then we'll come back, and then we're going to head towards Safari Zone. So if you guys are hyped for that, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on the next episode. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.